Hello, YouTube fan base. It's Andy again with another great video. So, today's date is on January 11th of, excuse me, it's on January 12th of 2019. Happy New Year to all my friends and family across this great nation. You know, everywhere in between, from as far away as California, going all the way up to the Maine coast. So, yeah, I got a lot I got quite a bit to talk to you guys today about, so please bear with me. As on average, just as a forewarning, my videos are going to be about 10 to 20 minutes long. Just depends, but we'll see what happens. So anyway, catching up with you guys where I left off last time. I was about ready to set out on the open road again. I was going back to work, and I can thankfully and proud to say that I came back. I'm finally home for a few days. I got home uh, not yesterday, but the day before, which was January 10th. So got home in the afternoon. Done quite a bit of R&R yesterday. So I didn't go nowhere, and today it's just been busy, 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 busy. So during that extent, I was out 7 weeks out, roughly speaking. So during that time frame, I only had one reset in, which really sucked. But nevertheless, made a lot of good miles. I met a couple of new friends along the way, and it's just been pounding miles away. And what was it? I went out to California twice. Went over to Indianapolis. I went over to the Indiana area about 4 times. Went out to South Carolina once. Went out to Texas twice, and Kansas once. Went over to Nebraska twice I could think of. I went up to Wisconsin once, and that's it I could think of off the top of my head. So I ran down to Kentucky a couple times. So I've gotten a lot of good miles in. I had to rescue one of our own trucks down in Columbia, South Carolina, a couple weeks ago. So I was called out on a rescue mission, kind of last minute thing, but took another driver down, and it was fun. That was one of two good friends that I met along the way. So we chatted, and it was a couple of solid days back to back of where I had over 600 miles a day, and still had to wait on the customer, but nevertheless, it was great. Um, just pounding miles away, and honestly, other than waiting for an extensive amount of time, I would say a couple times I can think of off the top of my head. Honestly, it's been really rock solid. Honestly, we don't ask me how I done this, guys, but during Christmas holiday itself, we only had like 50 drivers from what I was informed, quote unquote, passed down through the grapevine. But we had like 50 drivers to cover like almost 300 loads, and don't ask me of how we done all that. But I know for a fact, myself alone, whenever I was coming out, whenever I was on my way back from California, I was over in the state of Missouri. I stopped for about 18-hour extended break, but I done that on my own. But I wasn't late for my delivery over in Indiana. But nevertheless, they stacked another 4 more loads on top of me at that same exact time. So, and plus I was able to deliver my load early. So, which was great. So made some pretty good miles. Had a few extra stops, and had a couple of Blue Bunny runs, and one of which was actually a Blue Bunny trailer, which I plan on showing you guys here in just a little bit. Actually, I got quite a few photos to share with you guys this time. So before I go any further, I do need to send a great big shout out to my work family. Anybody that's a part of Schuster itself, I need to send a great big shout out to them, just because that they have been very supportive during this whole process while I've been on medical, and actually I made my company's social media page one time, and that was a few days ago. Matter of fact, I got a picture to show you guys. This was to like be thankful for thank any truck driver that you come in contact with, more or less. But it says, thank you, Schuster drivers, for keeping America rolling. And actually, this is my old truck right there, with me in front of it. And that was taken by one of my very good friends that lives up in Maine. And I had dinner with him last summer, matter of fact. And he took that picture, and I didn't realize that was going to be a viral internet sensation, but it actually was, because I sent in for a contest, and actually I had several people like that, but ultimately a few other people won, like pictures of their trucks for the new calendar year or something like that. But anyway, nevertheless, I need to send a great big shout out to my Schuster family, just because that they have been very supportive, and that they understand that certain drivers work harder than others, because we're proud to work for them, and because they took me back. Granted, I couldn't get back into that same truck, but just knowing the fact that where I came from and how long I was gone, and that they were willing to accept me back. I was gone for about 4 months. To me, that in itself is very astonishing. Just knowing the fact that I was welcomed back and with open arms. And the day that I returned, I got so many thank yous for returning, and I got multiple hugs, which I thoroughly enjoy. Thankfully, you know, to me, it was an overwhelming amount of support. I was speechless when I was able to come back to work, and a lot of people asked me, hey, what happened? Where you been at? Things like that, and just had to briefly tell them, listen, I had major neck surgery, and I couldn't come back until just now. And I said, wow, sometime I'd really like to hear the story. And anybody that watches my YouTube channel, they know of what the story is all about. So I have to, you know, like I said before, guys, I just have to, um, send a great big shout out to them, just because they did take me back, and it was great, it was wonderful, and that they understand that I'm not here just because I want, just because I'm looking for a job. You know, I'm there for a reason, and obviously, someone or something has put me here at Schuster for a reason. You know, are there things that could be worked upon with us? Yes. Okay, there's always things that can be improved upon. One thing that I would like to see with our company is improve our safety ratings, so at some point, not sure when, but at some point, I'd like to see us catch up with today's times, meaning that going up to 68, possibly 70 miles an hour, which right now I don't see that, just because there's a lot going on. So, you know, but other than that, honestly, I wouldn't trade this company for nothing in the world, to be honest with you, because they have done so much. You guys would be amazed. And I have seen so many drivers come and go over the past 2 years. I mean, I know off the top of my head, I could think of at least two or three names off the top of my head that have quit multiple times, still came back within a year, and they're still working for us. But, you know, that's just naming business. So it is what it is. Besides that, I was very thankful that, I was able to run the way that I was. It took me about 3 days for me to get back in the saddle, but, otherwise, I'm just like the ordinary Andrew. I am of who I am, and I don't know any other way that I would change it for nothing in the world, to be honest with you. But I'm glad to say that I'm finally home for a few days, and I definitely need the time off work. Just because I need to get finances straight, and I also need to get a few other personal issues straight as well. So, but besides that, today, other than dealing with the snowy weather that we're having during this great big storm that's moving across the Midwest, I did go out to a gun range, not mine in particular, but I went to one called On Target, which is located in Crystal Lake, Illinois, off of US Highway 176 and US Highway 14. So, if you guys ever get an opportunity to go over there, the range itself is pretty decent. The gun that I was trying was actually the Ruger SR22, which, give me one moment and I could show you guys what that gun looks like. It's going to be kind of hard to see because of the glare, but just understand, please. But this is what the little pistol while I was trying out today. That's the Ruger SR22. So, it looks fairly compact, which that's one of the main reasons why I didn't care for it. But I have a picture of, actually, a couple of different pictures of me holding the gun itself. So, there's me holding it. As you can see that it is ambidextrous safety, and yes, it was in the firing position, but no, the slide was in the locked position. And what you can see right there, roughly speaking, is the slide was locked back, just because I did drop the magazine to show you guys that it was empty at the time. And then somebody else, while I was at the range, he knows I was trying to get a picture of myself, so he volunteered to take a picture of me with a gun, which, honestly, this guy was very nice about it. But that's kind of, that's what I looked like with the gun itself. Overall, I could say that I didn't care for it, but it was very smooth as far as shooting. It wasn't quite as accurate, and it was very small. It was so small that I would say that it was probably just a little bit bigger than my hand. Okay, and to me, if I'm going to be shooting something for a pistol, I need something a little bit bigger than my hand. To me, that's more meant for people that are concealed carry holders, and I'm not a concealed carry permit holder. So, I could say overall, I'm definitely not going with it, but here's one of my targets to which I shot. This was shooting about 7.5 yards. So that's probably a little better angle on it. 7.5 yards still isn't bad for groups like that. I had a few strays here and there, but honestly, it wasn't too bad. I spent altogether, including ears, 200 rounds worth of ammunition plus the gun for 1 hour. I think I paid like $54. Roughly 53 something. Just to rent the gun and the ammunition and the 5 targets I got. So, honestly, it wasn't too bad. This is one of the Christmas gifts I got myself. Unfortunately, it came in the day after I left to go back on the road, but I got me a new Road Atlas. This is a Lemonade Motor Carrier Atlas. So, it's a 2019 edition. So, overall, I was pretty pleased with this extent out. Here we go. I got pictures of my Blue Bunny trailer while I was hauling. I was down in just outside of Olathe, Kansas, whenever I took this. But there's me in the Blue Bunny trailer. So hopefully you guys can see okay. Probably not because of the glare. Hang on. Maybe you guys could see that. Somewhat. Well, you guys get the gist of it, I'm sure. There's a little bit of a closer up with me. Now that's where I'm really smiling in front of the Blue Bunny trailer. Oh, that's a good angle right there. So you guys can see that anytime that I haul one of them wagons, I'm smiling like a giggling kid at Christmas time. So, this was just when I guess this was Christmas morning. I was just kind of sitting up there in the truck. I was just outside of St. Louis whenever I took this one. It was like, yeah, I might as well go ahead and do something special for Christmas. So, because I was on the road, and it was just one of the times where I was just sitting way too long, and it is what it is. But like I said before, guys, honestly, this extent out was both good and bad. Just understanding the fact, of how long it's been and things I've had going on, and I won't necessarily say trouble that I'm in, but I will say that just things in general going on. Okay, like today I got a couple other personal issues I'm going to take care of today. I need to catch up on finances, so I need to do that. And otherwise, just kind of chilling out, and I go back on Tuesday morning. So, oh, one other thing before I forget is next week we have a driver's banquet going on for my company. So this will be my second year attending, which I'm very excited for. I'm very looking forward to come back to the terminal area and just getting a chance to catch up with everybody and you know understanding that this is my second year right now and this is the longest home job that I've ever had in my entire life. I didn't think that in a million years I would have been able to stay with the company for a solid 2 years. Honestly, just knowing the fact that yeah, I've had a few ups and downs, and I was out for 4 months, but still, a company that's willing to keep me is astronomical. I'm more grateful than anything in the world. I've had I will say that I've had a few eyebrows kind of look at me a little bit more now because they have discovered my YouTube channel, and I'm a little skeptical. If you guys understand why I would be, but with that being said, I'm still going to be me. I'm still going to make videos regardless. Okay? I am just going to be a little bit more mindful of who's going to be watching me going forward. Because there are things I still want to achieve. I still have a hope and dream to where, I could, if I'm still in trucking for quite a while, I have a hope and dream to where I can go out to some of these schools and tell them my personal experiences dealing with trucking. Tell them the truth. Tell them what's like. Tell them, share a few personal stories to which I've experienced out there on the road. It's going to change you, but that could be a good and a bad thing. That's one of my dreams. Another hope and dream of mine would be to either enlist into the United States military or to, go on to the state patrol academy, which right now, yeah, they're hiring, but they're only hiring for people that have either prior military experience or a 4-year college degree. And I'm getting to that point now where it's like, okay, I gotta do something or I'm never going to do it. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. And just doing a lot of soul searching and understanding, that my birthday is tomorrow. Okay, it really is. I'll be 26 tomorrow. Okay. But just mentally developing an understanding of where I came from, what I was doing, and where I'm at today. Okay, I've totally changed. Okay, and it's not necessarily just going from one point to another. It's growing. It's learning. It's mentally developing on my own. Okay, without anybody's help. I mentally feel that way. So, have I done some stupid things? You damn right I have, but who hasn't these days? But what I'm saying, guys, is just overall, I matured. Okay, I still got a long ways to go. My mind is telling me that I'm still young, dumb, and stupid. Okay, that I'm like 16, 18 years old. Mentally, I feel that way, but my body's saying, no, we're actually 35. Okay, just because, I've been sinning a lot more and I'm stiff and it's just not there and I'm wearing myself out. Okay? That's why I said, there are a lot of things I have to worry about. My family's getting older. My mom is going to be 50 this year, and, my brother, he's in the military, and, I really want to see him a little bit more, and we're getting along better, thankfully, and, it's just little things like that. But anyway, guys, I'm sorry for the long video, but I hope that you guys like my current update, and you got any questions, you know how to get a hold of me. If not, send me a personal email. And please, 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 if you guys have any questions whatsoever for me, a future video that you guys may want to touch me, that you guys want me to touch up on the topic, send me an email, and we'll get in contact and we'll just kind of go from there. So you guys have a great weekend. Stay safe. Please stay warm and please be mindful of the weather this weekend. And until next time, I'll see you guys later. Peace.